welcome. I do hope you're doing well. Here comes my Mr. Otis to give some direct attention to Tom Bower's book, Revenge. And I wanted to give my insights just in bits and pieces of the different chapters. So I wanted to focus on chapters 1 through 3.
I had been in school watching a TV show in elementary school, and this commercial came on with the tagline for this dishwashing liquid, and the tagline said, "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans." I went home and I told my dad what had happened, and he encouraged me to write letters. I wrote to the soap manufacturer. The kids' news show, they sent a camera crew to my home to cover the story, and it was roughly a month later when the soap manufacturer changed the commercial to "People all over America."
Well, it looks like that was not quite the truth, what she was saying. With this commercial, Mr. Markle saw that his daughter was not getting the responses from the company that she had sent this letter to. No one responded. Like, you pay attention to my little princess. You pay attention to her. Don't you know she is my flower? She is my beautiful daughter. How dare you not respond to her? She needs to hear from you. So what did Mr. Markle do at this time? Well, he reached out to his buddies in Hollywood, and he made sure that she was able to get recognition for this letter that she had wrote. And he had a friend that worked over at Nickelodeon do a special piece on it. And so when they came to the people from Nickelodeon agreed to do this reenactment of what Meghan had done, they made it into something for the kid news. So Thomas arranged for Linda Ellerby, a host on Nickelodeon, a children's TV channel run by Lucky Duck Productions, to report Meghan's protest at her school. So seeing herself interviewed on the broadcast TV film report, accompanied by a reenactment clip of her writing to Clinton, naturally boosted Meghan's self-confidence. Yeah, he boosted it so much. Look at her now. She done gone buck wild in America trying to think she can become president. You see what this man did? He just made the girl think she could be president. And getting that rejection would have been good for her. Not getting a response would have been good for her. But she was used to her father coming to the rescue and helping her not have to do the hard work, but giving her the lift that he gave her that most fathers would do. Let's just keep it real. We would most likely do that for a child. Some of us, not all of us. So as we can see, this was never what Meghan has always claimed it to be when she was growing up. So that for me was new. I always assumed that she did it because it's easy to assume those things because you do see the commercial changed, but we didn't quite think that perhaps it was women all over the world that got that changed, and we never demanded proof. Well, where's the letter that they changed the commercial because of what Meghan wrote? People just assumed it. And so when you just assume these kinds of things, you can be bamboozled. And a lot of people, including myself, we were bamboozled. It was to try to deviate and to get through the back door. Markle fast-tracked her way into celebrity and popularity by embellishing the stories of her past and trying to sneak in symbolically through the back door to getting where she wanted in life much quicker than going through the front way. You know, sneak in, so to speak. Let me sneak in here and get my popularity by sneaking in the back door, not going the route of hard work and making people take notice, but let's just sneak in the back way, you know, and let's just play like we're trying to do things an alternative kind of way, you know. And she went to a very expensive school, Northwestern University, where Thomas paid for her college. I mean, you just look at everything that this man has paid for. And now Meghan is at a point where she could take care of her father very easily without batting an eye. And yet she uses all her efforts to try to get more money rather than living a content life of doing good for people, maybe going back into your craft and really putting in the work this time. Like, she wants to do things at such an uber skankalicious way that it's like it just can't be respected. And it has to be called out by the people in the industry, or they'll get called out if they partner with her. And they'll see if should this happen. And there's these other claims as well. Even Samantha Markle told us about these things, about how Meghan talked about having this job in the embassy, and she was doing all these things because she had a job. She was working for the embassy and for American Embassy, and this was not true either. Her uncle Mike got her the internship, and she was in a study program. Her father paid for her to be in this study program. It was not a job, it was a study program where you had to pay to be a part of it. Samantha has told us all about these things, and it didn't really mean anything to her anymore to show gratitude to people, because it's like she kind of had to cheat to get to where she is. And Harry, unbeknownst to him, he don't realize that he's the cause of all the issues right now. He's the problem. Harry is the one that people should be getting upset with. Like, why did you marry this woman? You married this woman. Now look at this trouble we're in now. The queen is being disrespected. People not showing up to important events, leaving early, bullying people, going on Oprah. This is all Harry's fault. We want to keep it real. Do you think we find ourselves in these predicaments that he married Cressida? I don't think so. Or if he married, the other lady he was dating, but this would not be happening. But she found her way through the back door, and Harry opened it. Harry was like, okay, come on in, girl, come on. Maybe he didn't realize he was opening the door. Maybe he saw this girl trying to come through the back door, and he was like, oh, there's someone at the back door. He just kind of, unbeknownst to him, he lets her in, and then when he lets her in, he's like hypnotized by her. It's the Jezebel. She has got you in her strains of hypnotic skinkaliciousness. Do as I say, Harry. Do as I say, Harry. And that's what he's doing. And then we find ourselves in this nonsense. So this is how we know she came through the back door. She snuck in, folks. She didn't want to pay for the ticket. She didn't want to get through the front door doing the hard work. This is how we know she came through the back door. Her search for a long-term relationship was equally frustrating. There were 6 months with Sean, an actor and screenwriter raised in the Hamptons, whom she had met at Northwestern. That ended after he refused to commit, and was followed by 5 months with actor Brett Ryland. That ended because he apparently lacked the right personality. Then followed other actors, a Latin tycoon and inconsequential night out with Simon Rex, a male porn star. Every evening she set off saying to herself, you never know. Tonight I might meet the man who will change my life forever. Yes, it might be tonight. I just can't do the work. I can't go through the front door. It's too hard for me. I'm going to sneak through the back. Yes. And that's what happened essentially. So in 2004, she met Trevor Ingleson in West Hollywood, a West Hollywood bar. We see that Meghan really wanted to be changed. She wanted her life to really rise up. And it was going to happen because she needed a man to do that for her, because essentially the old-fashioned way, working hard for it, just was not the way she wanted to do it, because she was used to that growing up. She was used to getting her way when she threw a tantrum. She was used to her father giving her what she wanted. And she grew up thinking when she got out into the real world that the real world was going to give her what she wanted. And when she saw that didn't happen by doing the hard work, she said, you know what? I'm going to have to do what I got to do, because I'm going to get what I want. I'm Meghan Markle. And this brings me to my next point, and how we see it happen with the royals. When she saw she wasn't getting what she wanted, she wasn't able to control the narrative, she wasn't able to do the things that she wanted to do as a servant of the queen, and because she wanted to eventually get out of her life as a royal, because she just did not want that. She had to find an excuse. The excuse was racism. She blamed it on racism. And the worst thing you can do to an institution that most people already believe are racist, I'm just telling you what the black people I talk to think, that was something that she was going to play on, because she knew she had the upper hand when it came to getting what she wanted if she could call racism. Knowing full well that everything that she thought was being racism, it was what the royal family wanted. They wanted that diversity. And what did she do? I'm gonna call you racist. Even though you want me to be here because I am part black, I'm gonna call you racist. That's what she did. And she did it with her acting. Rather than accept that she was not an outstanding actress, she stressed, it was the first time I put a name to a feeling too light in black community or too mixed in the white community. Thomas Markle disputes this. Race was never an issue throughout Meghan's childhood and insists that her years in Hollywood. I was surprised when she brought it up. With the exception of the box at the school and a driver shouting at Doria, Meghan never mentioned race. Meghan, he insisted, was never the underdog. Similarly, Thomas Markle insists that Meghan never blamed racism for rejection at auditions. It just didn't come up. Yeah, it didn't come up until she failed at something, and then it became an excuse. Just like failing, not doing well within the royal family, not wanting to be in the royal family, she had an excuse. And she was able to say, hey, you're racist, as an excuse once again. So the correlation between how Meghan has grown up, I can definitely see how she has become who she is today. And I've always said, Meghan is black enough to claim racism, but she isn't black enough to really have experienced true racism. And I can imagine she may have had some experiences around racism that were very minimal once they saw her mama. I think if just like at her school, they didn't even know she was half black, and they always thought she was Italian. But it was when Doria came around, people saw, oh, okay, you got half black, girl. That is when it became an issue. And this is why I think she has her mother around all the time, because her mother gives her the validation that she needs, that she wants to be able to use racism. She can validate her claims of racism by, here's my mama. I can claim racism because my mama, she look black. Ain't you black, mama? Yes. Okay? Because you racist. You racist.